Today on Focal Point, we're going to learn the ingredients behind CCP TV's show, The Chef Cook, with its host, Chef Paul McCormick. See how the Stand Your Ground law affects the community and celebrate Carnival at the Caribbean Festival. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Focal Point on CCP TV, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. I'm Darlene Muntz, a student in the Communication Arts curriculum. We have an exciting show for you today.
Everything in life could use a sauce.
I'm here with adjunct instructor of the Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management curriculum, Chef Paul McCormick, the host of CCP TV's The Chef Cook. Welcome, Chef Paul. Welcome, Chef Paul.
Thank you, Darlene.
What was the vision behind the Chef Cooks?
It was an opportunity to expand what we do in the classroom into the multimedia aspects of what the school offers here in the other programs. Okay. It's mixing 2 or 3 programs together, and it was a great opportunity to share what we do in Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management.
How did you become a part of the show?
I've been an adjunct instructor here since 2000. We've been a part of a lot of different things that were going on. We were in the process of expanding into the new facility in the Pavilion building, finishing up what we were doing in the old facility, and this was an opportunity for us to expand what we do to as many people as we can watch the show. It was wonderful.
Okay. So Paul, what is your favorite episode with the show?
I have so many. There were the wonderful things, the ones where I was able to share with like Ollie Johnson, the rib show, turducken, which is really, really unique. And my personal favorite was the turtle soup. Because it was something that I had a long history with actually making turtle soup in my career, that I took the opportunity because it's very rare and it's not done in a lot of places anymore, but it's one of those lost arts that I'm able to pass on because of the show.
Let's look at a clip of the show.
This is the finished product ready to go in the oven. The shell is on the top, which is protecting the meat inside. That's basically what I want. When seafood or meat gets really, really tough, it's because too much high heat causes the proteins to join together and tighten up. Slower, lower heat is better, but I do want this caramelized, so I'll start it off at a 400-degree oven, and after about 15 minutes after the top browns, I'll turn it down to a 300 oven. Okay. This is my roasted turtle. As you can see, it's in a different pan. For the sake of this video, I turned around and had 2 turtles. Now, I'm going to show you what the cooked meat looks like inside the turtle. I'm going to flip the shell up just like I did when the turtle was raw. And now there's a huge difference in the way it looks. The inside of the shell has meat running along the bone. This is how brown that the tomato paste that I put underneath the shell turns. So this is really, really nice and dark. The meat looks darker. Okay, it's fully cooked all the way through. All right, the skin turned really dark, but that's a misnomer. The skin is actually covering the flesh. The flesh of a fish or even a reptile that swims and lives its life in the water is always going to be lighter than a land animal. That's always based on the fact that they need less myoglobin to move. Myoglobin is the chemical process that happens to protein when muscles move slowly. When muscles you move fast, like a turkey's breast or a chicken's breast, who are non-flight birds, flap their wings to evade a predator, the muscle tissue doesn't get the slow-moving muscle use that creates myoglobin. Fish, because of the buoyancy of the water, never get really, really dark meat. So this is still going to be light meat. People say, turtle, what's it taste like? Oh, it tastes like chicken. It doesn't taste like chicken. It has a very earthy flavor, and that's a nice term for what some people react to, that earthy flavor. It's just the fact that the myoglobin, because of there's less muscle movement, is lighter in color.
That was excellent. Tell us what we can expect this season.
More surprises, more old-time classic methods of preparation brought into the modern era. just like some of the former shows. We took classic methods of preparation and made them to fit today's cuisine and today's palate.
Do you have any particular food in mind that you're going to show us?
I'm going to show you some things that people haven't seen or eaten ever. Maybe something like alligator, or maybe some shark, something very, very different coming up in the next season.
That sounds delicious. Well, I want to thank Chef Paul for being with us. We look forward to the new season of The Chef's Cook. Trayvon Martin has become an example of how some laws can change the perspective of life in America. See how CCP students feel about the Stand Your Ground law and its effect on our community.
My interpretation of Stand Your Ground,
I have an idea of it. I'm not 100% sure of what it is.
Stand Your Ground law is a law in Florida. At least Florida is one of the states where it is in.
I lived in Florida for like 6 years with the college in Florida, so I didn't know it exists until after I left college.
The law pretty much says if you are faced with a situation where you might be confronted with someone, your only option, whereas in some cases your only option is that you have to leave or you have to show that you attempted to leave before you defended yourself, with Stand Your Ground, you don't have to leave. You can choose to stand your ground and defend yourself and not be penalized because of it.
If you feel threatened, I believe you do have the right to defend yourself. If you choose to use it with a weapon or with your hands, whatever way you choose.
So to think that on my way home from work that I could just get shot because somebody feels that they're standing their own ground, I can't live in a world where that can be the case.
It's tough because if the person really is threatened, then, you know, you can use it.
I think that in a situation that when you are being attacked, that you should have the right to defend yourself.
If you really wanted to subdue a criminal, you should have used a taser or mace. There was no reason to use a lethal firearm.
There are so many different pieces in the criminal justice system that work together that any one of those could have affected that verdict.
The outcome would have came out totally different. I don't think it would have came out the same at all.
Yes, I do feel as though the situation would have changed if Zimmerman was black.
He should have been guilty because I personally don't feel that he was threatened because he was following him.
I do think that an older man should not put himself in a position where he's actually tracking and tracing and running behind a young man like that.
I think George Zimmerman should be in prison right now, doing at least 25 years.
Zimmerman would have been in jail, and that's the end of it.
There was cases prior to that where the races was reversed and the outcome was different.
I think, you know, if Zimmerman was black, he would have got some time for it.
If Zimmerman were black and Trayvon were white, Zimmerman would have been in prison probably before the bullet sound even ended.
I believe that the Stand Your Ground law should be clarified, that it needs to be much more than just a threatening gesture.
That law gives people the excuse to do whatever they want.
A lot of people are starting to use that as an excuse to actually shoot someone or pull the gun and shoot at someone.
It kind of hurts that you can't feel safe going down your own block.
Welcome back. In extreme circumstances, we can stand united as one. But let's see how we celebrate one of the world's oldest traditions at the Caribbean Festival.
The Caribbean Festival is an opportunity for us to celebrate a different aspect of our students. We have a very rich student culture here at the college.
So we wanted to put in like all types of themes. We wanted to put the Caribbean themes. We wanted to have the Caribbean food. We wanted to have Caribbean activities. So everyone, the student body, can experience what it is to be in the Caribbean.
I do think that the festival helps promote the Caribbean heritage, and to the students here at CCP, not only does it help them show what the Caribbean culture is all about and how they like to have fun, but it also helps bring organizations who also help promote the Caribbean culture here in Philadelphia to the students and show them about their interests and their food and the music and things of that nature.
We were trying to keep as traditional as possible for the Caribbean Festival.
Food-wise, we had cabbage, rice and beans, curry chicken, oxtail. So that was just some of the food, kind of traditional Caribbean food.
The food had just the right kind of spices that you would think of when you're thinking of the Caribbean and that type of experience.
And the music was reggae, dance hall, Afro-Latin music. So it was kind of like a mixture of like what would you hear in the Caribbean.
We had plenty of members from the African Club. Africa and Jamaica cultures are not too distinct, so they definitely brought that up to the dances and stuff. The music was there, the food was there, and definitely a lot of people felt like the culture had a presence there.
I think if we want to engage students with anything, you have to do something to bring them here.
The food and the music helps them engage more into the event because it gives a kind of a vibe that you don't really get with like a regular American lifestyle. It helps them, kind of get loose, have fun, and not be so, I guess, stiff. So.
We had positive responses, and that's what I like to hear from, of course, of the students. If the students like it, then I'm happy with it.
When the students see that we're taking the opportunity to expose others to a small portion of their culture, then I think they appreciate it.
Wow, that was mind-blowing. That concludes today's show. I would like to thank my guest, Chef Paul McCormick, and thank all of you for tuning in. You have been watching Focal Point, the Community College of Philadelphia magazine show on CCP TV, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. All the segments for Focal Point are produced by the students in the digital video production curriculum. I'm Darlene Muntz, a student in the communication arts curriculum. See you next time.